see if I can play with this. Right, good to see you all. Thanks very much, and thanks to ADGM as well for inviting me. It's a great opportunity to talk to you. So there was a little nice introduction there on some of what we do. But what I'm really going to be talking about today is the fact that we are a fertilizer company, but also a future energy company. And it's that pivot, it's that transition. I want you to join me on that journey today. So yes, we're the largest in the UAE at fertilizer, but we're also the largest nitrogen fertilizer exporter in the world. And if I sort of focus on the food security on that, basically, if you do not use nitrogen as a fertilizer every single year, as a farmer, you will see your yield drop 40% the next year. Yeah? You will basically, nitrogen fertilizer every year is keeping sort of upwards of 4 billion people nourished. Food security is incredibly important. The growth, the population growth continues. We are the largest nitrogen fertilizer exporter. And then we're moving to energy security. I'll talk about energy security, where ammonia, one of our products, is one of the best zero carbon products for storing and moving and burning as a future energy source. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. So very interesting to go from food to energy. So who are we? We have basically 4 world-class young, strategically located production facilities through MENA. We're already industry-leading margins of cash flow generation. So we were up there again in the plus 40% EBITDA margins. Our cash flow generations are very, very healthy. And as a sector, as a global international company against our peers, we are one of the highest sector-leading in terms of dividend yields. We prioritize our shareholder value of maximization. So since we IPO'd in 2021, we've dividend 2.4 billion. We've got one of the leading total shareholder returns since IPO of any company here under ADX. A lot of this interested ADNOC. So a couple of months ago, ADNOC completed its acquisition of us. ADNOC now holds 86% of us, and the rest of us are listed. That is very exciting when I go forward, because ADNOC, certainly from a food security piece, but really why is ADNOC doing this is as the future energy security. And it gets exciting where you put together the largest nitrogen fertilizer exporter and bring it together with ADNOC. At the moment, we do $6.6 million of net capacity. And under ADNOC, with ADNOC, by the end of 2029, 2030, we'll be up to 9 million tons. Of that, 2 million tons will be low-carbon ammonia in the UAE alone in Ruwais. And there's also 350 in the US with one of our new partners, Exxon. So it's a little unusual. You've got a nitrogen fertilizer exporter working with Exxon, an energy company. What are we doing here? It's a balance between, as shareholders, giving you value creation in terms of dividend, but also positioning for the future growth. So disciplined growth strategy. We kind of look to ourselves as an energy stewardship in terms of the economics of what we're basically doing here. So you'll have read a lot of, new energy, but does it actually come to fruition? For us, we're already one of 3 green ammonia producers in the world. We won through Germany a subsidy support. We beat off all our competition for $400 million of green ammonia into Germany for them to move to the next stage of their energy strategy. We've FID'd 1 million tons of low-carbon ammonia in the UAE. Our projects economically work now. This 1 million ton project is high double-digit IRR, even on gray ammonia, before the low-carbon pricing starts coming in. And then margin optimization. So we're really looking, despite our young plants, we're looking to see how can we get out more EBITDA through better operations. That's $100 million we will deliver by the end of 2025. Cost optimization through internal transformation, greater use of digitization. There'll be a $50 million run rate saving at the end of this year. All of this is that balance. We will maintain our position in high dividend yields in the sector and indeed in the ADX, but also push with economic growth, which makes sense. So ADNOC has taken an interest in us. Why is that? So they look at us for that energy position. We're really excited to bring this together. We were an early mover in low-carbon ammonia. We've got our strong financial capital discipline. We're the largest at what we do. When you start bringing ADNOC, which needs no introduction, together, interesting things start happening. The energy customer base is very interesting with ADNOC, the way they can bring our existing products to new energy markets. Basically, their technology is also very supportive in carbon capture. And if I move here, you can basically see the ecosystem we have is the carbon capture, the logistics and services you saw here on shipping, maritime energy, because ammonia will be one of the most important future fuels to move ships around the world. ADNOC distribution, AdBlue is basically reducing diesel exhaust fumes for this country and others. ADNOC has these customers, and in terms of the collaboration opportunities that ADNOC and the UAE with Mazda and others are bringing together, we're one of those missing pieces in the jigsaw puzzle. We essentially are allowing the movement of hydrogen generated here to the end market in wherever it is in the globe. And by bringing in these projects that ADNOC has, 2 in the UAE, 1 in Texas, we're really positioning ourselves for a very exciting future. And that future is there. So you can basically see by 2030, we're already the largest in the world, up to 9 MTPA. And not only that, you can see the strategic locations of where we are, basically being in Texas, being in the UAE, being in Egypt, being in Algeria, and being one of the largest maritime distribution networks. We can push this product to where we can find the best margins for our existing product and our future product. And this demand is only growing. So maritime fuel is incredibly important. So the Fuel EU maritime law regulations came out this year. This is basically pushing a lot of the vessels, a lot of the vessel owners, logistics companies to start saying, okay, we need to start moving to a zero carbon fuel. There's been others talked about, but essentially ammonia is the one that doesn't have the carbon molecule and scales. We're very excited to be a part of that. Also as a power generation with Japan and Korea co-firing as power stations. And in China as well, also looking at this, there's a lot of growth that we're looking towards. Last one, our existing business, the market is strong, the market continues to grow and have a very good, strong support. So I'd like to leave you talking about the exporter of nitrogen fertilizer and future fuels, good margins now, great growth, capital allocations in the future as we take this journey from food security to energy security. Thank you very much.